Creative pro wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Madhouse was a great way for creative pro wrestling to return to all sports in Melville, New York. First time in Melville since the spring earlier this year, and for the second Melville show in a row, the hockey rink was used rather as opposed to the soccer field. Because I remember I came in the building and I saw there was one room they were all like playing. People are like a whole bunch of ping pong tables. I don't know if they had some kind of tournament going on or what the deal was. And I think where the soccer field is, I think that's where the wrestlers were like, put their gear on and stuff. Well, a few proverbial roadblocks came along. The fact that this show was on a Friday, I had to work. My uncle picked me up from my job, and we had slowdowns going out there. I mean, we figured there'd be traffic. We finally, we were hoping to make it to Sweet Hollow Diner on, I can't remember what street that's on. But we finally got there. We got to eat, and we spent so much time there. I don't know if the kitchen was short-staffed because not too many customers were in there during our time there, and it was like between 7:30 and 8. We finally got out of there, and Jessica and Leanne and their friend Trish had to go back home, and I forgot what happened. She had to like let her cat back in her home. In the meantime, I finally got there, as did my uncle's friend Mike. Mike paid at the door, so they obviously had. I don't think the crowd was as big as it was for homecoming earlier this year. But another thing that got to me is that, I finally arrived, and, I went inside, and Ryan Peterson comes out and the show's getting underway. And unfortunately, with so many people getting there before us, I don't know what the hell went wrong. I mean, it's like so much, and it really like kind of took the wind out of my sails. But the action got underway. The first matchup we saw the Silver Sniper T.J. Crawford challenging the Sweeper Eddie Prevedi for the Mayhem medal. A lot of back and forth in this one, and at one point Prevedi hit a destroyer. Well, we knew it was a Canadian destroyer, but not everybody's using that move anymore. I forgot how, but Prevedi pinned Crawford to retain the Mayhem medal. Next, we had a match in the first round match in the tournament to crown Creative Pro Wrestling's first ever women's champion, as Zulika took on Latina Spice Nat Castle, who was coming to the ring by Sebastian Amore, who was wearing a Nat Castle t-shirt. I don't know if those were being sold at the show or not, but Nat Castle, those shirts come in 3X, and it's good to see you're on the shirt as well, instead of just your very name. But at one point, Amore came on the apron. Zulika nailed him. I think he came back on the apron. He was distracted. Castle took, I don't know what that was, glitter or sparkling spices or something, threw it in Zulika's face, put Zulika in an armbar, and she eventually tapped out. Nat Castle advances in the tournament to crown Creative Pro Wrestling's first ever women's champion. Next match, we were set to see Eric James of VSK, the Adrenaline Express, challenge Kevin Tibbs and CPA, the Midlife Express, for the Tag Team Championship. Now, as this match came to the ring, both Leanne and Jessica finally came into the building, and I broke the bad news to them. I said, we got a problem. We're not going to be able to sit together. And she says, Jess, what are we going to do? And I said, I don't know. If you want to go address it to those working the door. And then Jess was saying, I think we'll just forget about it. To go back, and they decided, and they head out the door. The match was on. By the way, Adrenaline Express came out to Point of No Return by Expose. Great song, and I love that group, by the way. Another great tag match as these two teams faced each other for the first time since breaking, breaking, wait, since breaking boundaries back in July. The Adrenaline Express eventually defeated the Midlife Express to win the tag team championship. And after the match, VSK took the microphone and said his contract recently expired. I don't know if he's referring to his contract with Impact or AEW or whoever. I don't even. He wasn't under contract with WWE. I know that. And I don't know what. Well, obviously, where they're going to go. It is actually he also gave kudos to Midlife Express for their match. Okay, next up was a 6-person tag team match as the Gridiron Savage, the Nomi, Gabby Forza, joined forces with Leo Sparrow and the Phoenix GKM, the Birds of the Sun. Now, Gabby comes to the curtain, but then the Birds of the Sun come to the curtain, and the two of them are trying to hog the spotlight, and Gabby's trying to high five both of them, and they left her hanging. And Sparrow, I don't know if that's kale or spinach or whatever that stuff is. He threw that stuff when I wasn't even right at me as I wasn't even looking. They took on making her return to Creative Pro Wrestling, Creative Pro Original, Chris Statlander, as her partners were Creative Pro Wrestling's founding fathers, Pat Buck, and the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. The match was on, and eventually Jessica and Leanne and their friend Trish eventually come back, and they obviously talked it over because I guess Trish was the one who addressed it to those working the door that that we had paid for second row tickets, and most of because none of us really got there when we did. We were hoping to get there sooner. And they finally come back in. Trish, I don't know if she decided to stay in her car or if she went back home or something. I don't know what happened. But I know I'm certain she's not a wrestling fan. Good matchup by these two trios. Eventually, Myers, Buck, and Statlander pick up the win, defeating Statlander pinned, I forgot, it was one of the guys, GKM or Sparrow, to pick up the victory. After the match, the Birds were going after Forrest, going to go after Gabby, and Statlander notices she comes back in the ring, and I forgot, Statlander did something to Sparrow, and Forza hit the jackhammer was it on GKM? I'm sorry, folks, but, once these shows end, it's just like puddle of mud. Everything's so blurry. I don't know if that may go somewhere with Forza and the Birds of the Sun or not. Next up was the other first round, the other and final first round match of the tournament to crown their first ever women's champion, as the troublemaker Shannon Levange, she took on, making her Creative Pro debut, Little Mean Kathleen. Forgot exactly how, but Little Mean Kathleen picked up the win over Shannon Levange, and Little Mean Kathleen advances in the tournament. All right. Then next was the Madhouse Street Fight as Bobby Orlando took on the artist Jake Lang for the television championship. The fans were eating Lang up as they were chanting Dr. Cringe at him. And Lang carried to the ring a portrait of the Creative Pro Wrestling Television Championship belt. A lot of stuff in here. At one point, Bobby Orlando went back to the curtain, and as I said through my megaphone, I said, "Plunder, plunder, if you will." Yeah, I put on my late American Dream Dusty Rhodes voice when that happened. Eventually, doors were brought into play. I think Orlando put Lang through one door with a crossbody off the second or top rope. Blah, blah, blah. Crapola. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm just having trouble remembering things. Oh, a kendo stick was brought into play, and Orlando broke that over Lang. Uh, Damn it, what else? I can't remember everything, but in the end, Orlando positioned a door in the corner, and Lang speared Orlando through that door. I think he kicked out of that, and Orlando like took pieces of the broken door, the trash can, put that in a pile, and I believe Lang threw Orlando off of that and pinned him to become the new Creative Pro Wrestling television champion. It was at that point in time they went to intermission, and that was good timing because they had to clean the ring up. And then it was time for what is pretty much been a tradition, and this hasn't been done on a main show since 2021, the Halloween Costume Rumble. It started out with Rock'n'Boy Nick Robles dressed as Eddie. I apologize, I couldn't quite hear ring announcer Ryan Peterson. Number 2 was Tristan Kyle dressed up as Ken from the Barbie movies. I think it was like 18 participants in total in this matchup. But among the participants, let's see if I can remember who was in it and who was dressed up. Oh, well, here's one for you. Dante Drago as Bond. James Bond. Sorry. But, Dante, as great as it was for you to come out as James Bond, you forgot the martini. Shaken, not stirred. Steve Somerset as Steve Believe. Phil Cardigan as Guy Fieri. We had these guys, Pat Fitzpatrick as Wario, Jay Macias as, I don't know, who's supposed to be like an evil Luigi of sorts. Someone came out as Princess Peach. And somebody came out as Bowser, King Koopa. And he was singing to Princess Peach, but eventually the two of them went out, and I think eventually Bowser eliminated Princess Peach. Princess Peach actually eliminated Wario, and the other, Jay Macias as Luigi. Who else? I'm trying to think based on past shows. Oh, Headband Ken was in it. There was somebody else dressed in green and in a green mask. I didn't recognize who that was. Also, the final entrance was Stang, S-T-A-N-G, which was Steven Azure dressed up as Surfer Sting in red, white, and blue makeup and a wig. And at one point, Stang and Steve Believe hugged in the middle of the ring, so that tells us right there Stang is Steven Azure, and I don't know if he's totally recovered from his reconstructive jaw surgery or not. But who else can I remember was in this match? Wow. I was surprised that we didn't see Jay George on the show. I thought he would have been in this match. Wow. Ugh. But I mean, it boiled as it boiled down. In the end, we were down to Nick Robles, Headband Ken, and I don't know who that was in the green mask and the green gear. Well, what happened was, long after Stang was eliminated, Stang came to the ring with a baseball bat. What happened was, the Robles eliminated the green masked man with the green gear. Headband Ken got a hand on Stang's bat, took off the mask, and was none other than Evil Kip, who had lost to Bryce Donovan last month in the main event of Heartache Tonight, and has, said he would leave Creative Pro, and I just don't know how they not played this off, but, he said he was banned from the building, but it was down on the headband Ken and Robles, but then out comes former ECW champion Sabu to the ring, and he throws a chair at Kip, and Robles eliminates him to win the Halloween Costume Rumble. And then, of course, security grabbed Kip, picked him up, and basically showed him the door. Not even going through the curtain. All right. Up next was the Hoss fight, as we saw Moose of Impact Wrestling, former Impact champion, do battle with Dominican Destroyer Vargas and Dirty Bulk Bronson of the Iron Savages. And the fans were like all over this match. They were chanting meat, 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 meat. At one point, instead of chanting, "This is awesome," they're chanting, "This is meaty." I mean, you know, three big monsters going at it. Yeah, fine. I mean, I get that, but I was upset could it be the Creative Pro Wrestling fan base has become obsessed with the word meat? Eventually, Bronson picked up the win, defeating Vargas and Moose. And, you know, Bronson still continues his winning ways. And then it was time for the main event, as Bryce Donovan, 500 some odd days as the heavyweight champion, defended against the dime piece, Evil Gay, Aaron Rourke. Very good match these two guys had. So many close moments. And I don't know if this show was live streamed on Twitch or not, or if it was recorded and will eventually be released on Twitch. But when it comes out, folks, watch this show, especially this main event. At one point, I think somebody accidentally hit referee Stephen Dumeng, and he went out to the floor. Out came Rourke's minions, or 4 men wearing masks, and they were going to go after Bryce. One of them had a chair in his hand, but the chair-wielding minion hits the other minions from behind. That minion unmasks. It's Bobby Orlando, and he chases the 3 minions away from the ring. Aaron Rourke tried to hit Bryce with the championship belt. Rourke spit something in Bryce's face, and then hit him with the championship belt, covered him. Stephen Dumeng comes back in the ring, made the 3 count. The dime piece, Evil Gay, Aaron Rourke defeats Bryce Donovan to become the new Creative Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. All right, personal notes. It was great seeing Leanne, Jessica, my uncle's friend Mike, who came to his first Creative Pro event since Wildlife over a year ago. And by the way, Mike lives in the Melville area. I wonder if Chris Statlander saw, she, you know, on her tights, it was the words "more than a woman" numerous times on her tights. I don't know if that could possible Bee Gees fan. Nah, I won't picture her singing the song. Oh, and by the way, Sierra, I gotta say, you are the life of the we're the life of the party of this event. I mean, you were giving out sights for the bird watchers throughout the night. Gave one to Vargas, one to Jake Lang. After Phil Cardigan, Guy Fieri was eliminated from the Rumble, he threw some kind of food and you caught it. That was something. Still shocked at Leo Sparrow throwing whatever vegetables, whatever leaves of vegetables at me when I wasn't even looking. I think, you know, due to all the chaos that occurred with us, I personally will think twice about coming to a show in a Creative Pro event in Melville on a Friday night. All right, great seeing ring announcer Ryan Peterson. Uh, some good-looking ladies in the crowd. I got quotes. Well, not me. They're not my quotes, but here we go. Sexy Ryan Meat! Sierra, when she looks right at Ryan Peterson right before the three-way matchup. Fuck you, Vargas! Sierra during the three-way matchup. Well, I'm sure you don't want to do the guy, Sierra. This may have been the quote of the night right here. I may be the gay one, but you hit like a bitch. Aaron Rourke to Bryce Donovan deep in their matchup. We didn't see General Manager Ariella Nix was not seen on this show at all. Who else we've got? This show actually, surprisingly, the show ran past 11 o'clock. No return date was announced for their next show. I don't know. The next one's going to be in Lynbrook or elsewhere. And I don't know if they're going to run in November or December. I would say, whether it's Lynbrook or somewhere else, I would like to see the newly crowned heavyweight champion Aaron Rourke defend his title in a return bout against Bryce Donovan. I'm sure one or both semifinal matches of the women's title tournament will be happening. I mean, the women who have advanced so far are Latina Spice, Nat Castle, Little Mean Kathleen, the Nomi Gabby Forza, and the Notorious Mimi. I don't know who's facing who as the tournament goes on, because I don't think there was like an official tournament board had all the names put up and stuff. The newly crowned tag team champions, Adrenaline Express. I don't know who we could put them against. But I wonder what is this whole thing with Evil Kip? This is going to continue. I mean, how's he going to try to get in the building next show or something? Something happens. Actually, I'd like to see next event put Midlife Express, put them against Pat Fitzpatrick and Jay Macias. Maybe Adrenaline Express have them face the Birds of the Sun for the tag belts. Well, like I said, I really can't figure out what else we can have that I'd like to see for the next show. I forgot. I think I mentioned earlier we were eating at Sweet Hollow Diner. Again, it's in Melville. I forgot what street it's on. It's like a 10-minute drive from that diner to All Sports. Pat Buck, Brian Myers. I don't know if you'd ever consider like going over that, speak to the manager or the owner of the diner, and maybe see if you could post up a flyer next time you do a show in Melville. You might be able to get some new fans or not. I'm sure the only thing they could do is tell you no. Man. Wow. What else can I mention about this great show? I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but this show was not as good as Homecoming earlier this year in Melville. Oh, well, I will address this even though nothing bad happened, thankfully. My uncle drove me to the show. There were moments. He's not a wrestling fan, And there were moments he would come into the building, he would try to talk to me, and he was standing in the aisle. We came past the guardrail, standing in the aisle, and I had to tell him, you can't stand there. I mean, imagine if somebody was coming through that curtain, or somebody was going to come out from behind the curtain, or if somebody was going to go through the curtain to get out, to get out of the ring and go back to the curtain for some reason. One thing that's funny, Leanne actually was clapping during the Rumble when Princess Peach eliminated Wario, and I forgot who Jay Macias was dressed up as, another Mario Brothers related character. Dang. Oh. What else can I think of here? My God. Shit. Yeah, what else can I say about this event? Yeah, I know I'm getting stuck already. I've already gone through the results and everything. But I guess that's going to do it, folks. I mean, like I said, Madhouse was great. I think I'm going to think twice about going to a show in Melville on a Friday night. So, hope you've enjoyed this. And, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Damn, I'm always forgetting shit. I forgot. I mentioned Dante Drago was dressed as James Bond. Jack Thomason was dressed as Elvis Presley. And, there were moments I was putting on my Elvis voice as Thomas was dishing out the punishment. And it's great to see Tomlinson pull out some karate. And I even said, thank you very much a few times. And at one point I said, honky tonk man had nothing on Elvis. Well, you're talking to the son of an Elvis Presley fan, and that was my departed mother, folks. I forgot. I forgot who that was, but somebody else came out dressed up as Freddie Mercury of Queen. We had... Okay, let me try and rewind this. Okay, Nick Robles, Eddie, forgot the last name. Tristan Kyle as Ken. You had Headband Ken, who tried to be evil Kip in disguise. You had Dante Drago as James Bond. You had Phil Cardigan as Guy Fieri. Steve Somerset as Steve Belize. Steven Azure as Stang. You had Pat Fitzpatrick as Wario. Jay Macias, I forgot which Mario Brothers character he was. Someone was Princess Peach. Somebody was Bowser King Koopa. Someone, I didn't get his name, but he came out and he was carrying a cardboard cutout of actor Kevin Costner, which, that, by the way, got thrown over the top rope. I don't know if it landed in the crowd or not. Wow. Can't remember what else, but yeah. I can't believe I forgot all about that with Tomlinson as Elvis. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Man, oh man, oh man, crapola. All right, that's it. I'm all out of stuff to talk about. Again, hope you all enjoyed this. Creative Pro did great. Can't wait to hear the date for the next show, whatever that's going to be, because Ryan Peterson didn't announce it to the crowd. CAP, 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 CAP.